Greetings from the city of Chicago, and congratulations on your 40th anniversary.
We are not called just to build careers, but we are called to love and to lift, to use our gifts and talents to give back to the community from which we've come.
Because it helps protect the most vulnerable members of our society.
Know that you have unique skills, talents, and life experiences that you can put to work in your community in a way that no one else can.
And it gives you an opportunity to meet people and help people with very real, very personal, often quite distressing situations that they need help.
To give people access, which they literally would not have access at all, sometimes to justice or the justice system.
To me, pro bono work allows me to take the skills that I don't use every day in-house and really apply them to do good in the Tampa Bay area.
We are uniquely talented with gifts and skills that allow us to help people who really need it.
People that have good lives should try to help other people have good lives.
Pro bono is not just an add-on or an afterthought, but instead a critical partnership with the private bar.
It comes back to community.
It helps people protect their rights and protect them.
They don't understand our legal system, and the legal system doesn't work for them unless they can understand it.
I've been doing guardianship cases, particularly guardianship advocacy cases. And those are cases where a parent has a child that's turning 18 or older and was born developmentally disabled. And that child needs to have somebody, a guardian, look after their property interest, their health care decisions, etc. And it's very rewarding work. I love it, helping these parents out. You see how much these parents care for their children, but they also understand that they have to go through the system, and we're able to help them get the parents appointed guardians for their children, and they're very appreciative, and I'm appreciative back to them for letting me help them out.
So I started out doing volunteering with the lawyers program because I wanted to get experience doing various different types of law. And what I ended up learning is that it's a very rewarding program. Recently, we had a client who was trying to get her house retitled into her name, and it was actually a house that had been in her family for 3 or 4 generations, and she inherited it after her mom passed away. And she was so incredibly happy that we were able to help her do that. So it was it's just an extremely rewarding experience.
Pro bono service and opportunities really grew during that time. There was one very popular pro bono program that was developed during that time was the Family Forms Clinic. Participated in developing that program, training the attorneys. That was a lot of fun, and it was a program that is still very easy for attorneys to volunteer for. It assists a tremendous number of pro se litigants. Those forms can be so daunting. The packets are enormous, and the assistance with the forms and going through the packets can really make a big difference in whether a litigant actually takes the step and files the case. So the pro bono, the Family Forms Clinic, and the Legal Information Center, those were 2 programs that were developed during that time that really have impacted a lot of people.
Recruiting more representatives from the different sections and local bar associations to participate in the pro bono committee. So we grew during that time.
One positive change was the pro bono rule. I joined the Volunteer Lawyers Program soon after the establishment and implementation of the pro bono rule, and that was done by the Florida Bar and the Florida Supreme Court. The rule encouraged attorneys to donate time and money to support pro bono programs and required each circuit to set up a pro bono committee. We were fortunate that Hillsborough County legal community was very receptive and supportive of the rule. As a result, the Volunteer Lawyers Program enjoyed an increase in resources and volunteers that over time allowed us to develop, implement, and expand our pro bono projects and help many more clients.
I was a volunteer at Bay Area Legal Services for the Volunteer Lawyers Program ever since I graduated from law school. What I liked was being around people. So when I joined the Volunteer Lawyers Program, We would do most of our activities at the courthouse to work with our volunteers. And working with the volunteers, I found that they wanted us to come out to their community. So I brought a lot of clinics and opportunities out to law firms, to sections of the bar, and I found that it was a wonderful opportunity to meet them and for them to meet each other. I thought that was very important to encourage volunteer participation and make it a fun opportunity for all of us.
For the pro bono community, I think the legal community as a whole saw the need for such a program on a grander scale, and the enrollment skyrocketed. And this was due in large part to our many supporters, most notably the late Reese Smith, who promoted pro bono work as a moral obligation for attorneys. So then those attorneys who served as volunteers encouraged their peers to sign up, and it kept going. It was working with the volunteers. You know, we had these volunteers and they believed in our mission, and some of them still are on the program today, 40 years later. And so it's continued to grow. That's helped us to serve more people in the community. And I was just very happy to be a part of that.
I've been the president since 1980. Well, when I first became the CEO of Bay Area, there was a very small program, and the program was operated part-time by one of our staff attorneys. And I realized there was an opportunity because at that time, our budget was $700,000 total, and we had a limited number of staff, and we needed help desperately. So it was the opportunity to involve private attorneys to serve our clients. Also at that time, and this was a national situation, legal aid programs like ours did not have strong relationships with the private bar. In fact, I think in many times we were regarded as wild-eyed radicals. And I thought that a program such as this would introduce our staff to the private bar, introduce our clients to the private bar, and help our clients. Well, I knew from our previous model that having it split part-time among more than one attorney was not working, and that we needed somebody whose sole job was to build a team that would involve private attorneys in helping our clients. Well, the first director of the program, or manager of the program, was Catherine Novak. I hired Catherine because I wanted to hire somebody who would be compatible with private attorneys and who would be fit easily in with the private bar. And she met that criteria, and she had the legal skills and the competency to do the job. But she integrated very well because she came out of private practice with the private attorneys. Bill McBride was then the president of the Hillsborough County Bar Association. Bill McBride later became the CEO of Holland and Knight. At any rate, he was the head of the Hillsborough County Bar Association, and I asked Bill McBride, whom I didn't know very well at all, whether or not I could introduce Catherine Novak to the Hillsborough County Bar Association Board of Directors. And he said yes, and she gave a great presentation, and he looked me in the eye and he said, "She is perfect." And then I knew that we had made the right hire. Well, the main goal was to increase and improve the amount of service to our clientele. But the other goals were what I mentioned earlier, were to improve our relationships with the private bar and also to improve the understanding of the private bar of the problems of our clients and therefore the need for help for our clients.